Well, good morning, everyone. Meteorologist Michael Wilhite here with Southern Indiana weather. We are under a winter weather advisory here today on Sunday. It's about 8:12 a.m. on Sunday morning, and it's February the 2nd. It is Groundhog Day, by the way. The groundhog did see his shadow, so that folklore means 6 more weeks of winter. Certainly looks like it's going to pan out this time the way this winter has gone. Maybe we ought to go groundhog hunting, get the 12 gauge out. I know some of you are ready for spring, me included, but unfortunately we're not going to find that today, folks. We're underneath of a winter weather advisory here for portions along the Ohio River, counties shaded in the purple here. Down here in the pink you have a winter storm warning, so the higher totals are expected to stay south into Kentucky, but we'll talk about that real quick. I just want to take you through the radar and just show you the basics of what's to expect today, real quick. Sponsored again today by High Voltage Mobile DJ Services. You can give Nathan a call at 630-9465 or visit him on the web at djhighvoltage.com. And he does a great job. Give him a ring. All right, let me put the radar here into motion. And you can see this little batch that we've had moving off. Most of the snow and freezing rain really stayed confined to points Bloomington and north. Here in the far parts of southern Indiana, it's pretty much clear now. But the wave that you see down here in portions of Oklahoma and Texas, you can see that's moving our way, and this is basically the mess that's headed our direction later today. It's going to take a little while for it to get here, but it will get here eventually. Now temperatures, they're right at the freezing mark around portions of the area right now. Those will warm up a little bit today, and so really anything that moves in, the first we may not have to worry about, but those will start to fall pretty rapidly once the snow begins to fall. The winter weather advisory actually begins at 2 o'clock this afternoon for most of us. Let's take a look at future radar, and here we go. We're into the overnight hours on Sunday. Let's get us up to where we are. This is what future radar was supposed to be for 8 a.m. this morning. That's fairly accurate. Most of it has moved out of Indiana. It's maybe increasing the timing just a little bit on what you see down in here, but not a whole lot. Right now I think it's doing a fairly good job. Let me continue to put this into motion. As we go through the motion, the first blue line here, this is the 32-degree line. So that's your freezing line. It just kind of helps us understand where the freezing precipitation might be. See, it moves north of us by noon. And by 1 o'clock, here it is 2 o'clock, and you see that line starting to move in. Once this batch starts to arrive, and the purples that you see here, the blues and purples, are snow moving in. This will quickly move in. You see the majority of that stays in Kentucky. It just basically sort of skirts the southern portions of our counties here. The majority of the bulk of it, at least, stays in Kentucky, and then overnight hours tonight, it's pretty much all gone. So I don't think this is going to be a huge event for us. Here's what I'm thinking as far as my futurecast snow totals. Let me get this up here where I can get it as big as I can for you. Well, I'm trying to anyway. In general, what I'm expecting out of this is anywhere from a trace to 2 inches for where we have the winter weather advisories. Okay, officially the advisory is for 1 to 3 inches. I think there will be some of us that we won't even find an inch out of this. The trends last night in the models were to start to take it heavier. I didn't buy that then. I didn't buy that this morning. The overnight runs have backed it off and pushed the heavier accumulations down into Kentucky, what it had been saying all along. I do think that we will end up with some snow out of this. I just think it's going to be fairly minor. And now, even a minor snow like this can cause travel problems, okay? So we'll still have to watch for some road conditions that could be rough if you're heading out to Super Bowl parties tonight and things like this. Just keep an eye on the weather, but in general, anywhere from a trace to 2 inches. I will say maybe an isolated higher amount possible with this, but again, the bulk of accumulation, as you can see, is going to stay south into Kentucky, where you can expect 2 to 4 inches. The winter storm warning they have down there actually goes to 5, so it's possible that they may have some isolated higher amounts, but these are just kind of general numbers. Now, north of where I've got this line, you're going to be hard-pressed to find snow. Does this mean that you won't get a few snow showers or even a light coating? Maybe not. Maybe this should be extended up a little bit further. But there's only going to be so far that this storm can reach, and that's because the bulk of it is going to skirt through Kentucky, and we're here in southern Indiana going to be on the edge. So if you're in maybe the Vincennes, Bloomington, Columbus areas, it's going to be hard for you to get some snow out of this. If you're here in Jasper, Paoli, yeah, you may end up with a little bit of snow out of this. I don't think it's going to be anything major, and 2 inches is, well, it's more than we've seen some of our storms this summer, but My gut on this is probably to go more towards the trace to 1 inch side for it, but because of variations in the models, I've went with the 2 inches. In general, though, I think it's going to be fairly minor. All right. You can go to southernindianaweather.com. Here's your 7-day forecast. 34 degrees is what I'm predicting for a high today before it starts to fall again. Mostly cloudy, light snow in our extreme southern counties. Again, once you get north of US 50, and I've used that as kind of a general guideline, once you get north of US 50, you're going to be hard-pressed to get any snow out of this today. Maybe some snow showers, but probably nothing that accumulates. That should stay mostly to the south. Winter weather advisory starts in effect at 2 o'clock tonight and then lasts through the overnight hours. All right, a dusting to 2 inches generally south of US 50 is what I'm calling for. 34 for a high tomorrow, mostly sunny skies. 37 on Tuesday. We're still watching what could be potentially a major winter storm. It still looks like it's going to be setting that battle line of rain and freezing rain over us. We may, it depends, we'll just have to see. Remember, that storm will be sampled later today, so maybe later tonight we'll have some ideas on that. And then later on in the week, we've got some chance of snow showers as well on Friday and Saturday, but we'll save that system for another time. Let's get through today's first. Also, don't forget, you can track these storms live as it moves in this afternoon. If you go to southernindianaweather.com and you click on Interactive Radar, it'll take you up to a page just like this, and you can use the zoom in and zoom out features. You can put temperatures on here. You can get precipitation reports in the whole 9 yards. You can see there's our batch that's going to be moving our way. So if you want to pull this up, you'll be able to track it interactively all afternoon as it moves our way. All right, folks, that's pretty much what we can expect for today. So I'll have updates once the storm starts this afternoon. Again, I don't see this as being a huge event, but just use some caution if you're heading out on the roads today. More updates to come. Stay tuned to our Facebook page, especially for those latest. For Southern Indiana Weather, I'm Meteorologist Michael Wilhite. Have a great day, folks. Enjoy your Lord's Day.